And earlier, Phil Foley down Jeff Bourne 209 to 180. Paul Traynor was beaten by Jim MacLellan 231 to 195. So it is Foley and McClellan for the right to go to the semifinal. And Bill, this is quite a match. A lot of pressure here because there's only one more spot in that final four. What's going to happen?
It is, Ernie, and we've seen in our previous two matches today, the pinfall has been really tough. These players are going to have to be hitting the middle, converting all their spare opportunities, and making sure of cleaning up all their wood. That'll determine who our winner will be.
You talked about the tough pinfall. Now, is it the delivery? Is it the way the lanes were set up? What's happening?
It can be a combination of many things. It can be a combination of the weather outside this weekend. It can be just the pins that we're using in play, the balls the players are using.
Well, both players have gone through that first round today, and they've had to make adjustments. Jim MacLellan, as you see, has had an average of 270.2. It's incredible, but got through with 231 in his first round. He's out first, and he'll roll one frame, sit down, and then watch his opponent, Phil Foley, go for two. Almost got a spit back there to catch something, but again, he's not hitting that pin the way he wants it, not hitting the corner or the center. Can spare this up, though, and get a good start.
Good cover up by Jim. He finished off that last game in good shape with a strike, a couple of spares, and just needed to keep it going here early in this match.
He got what he had to get in the last frames, and that won it for him.
I will see if a little bit of a layoff has affected Phil Foley at all. Of course, he's been sitting out during the last game. That was a good-looking shot he made there.
He was
a little bit thin.
Yeah, just a bit thin. Okay, let's see how that did. No, he didn't really get that hit pin very clean, did he?
No, hit it pretty thin, and you can see it just kicked over the 3-pin, and then the 3-pin lays on the pin deck.
Can't do anything from there. And is that a spare or not? Yes. So, good start, both players, as they fill with spares. And both of these players are very capable. McClellan can roll the hot streaks. He's had over 4,000 in 15 games. Foley has had a perfect game, and he's had just under 4,000 in 15 and over 3,000 in 10. That's over a 300 average, so they can roll it.
Both of them quite capable, but again, because of maybe the little tougher pinfall here, this weekend in particular, it's going to be a matter of who gets the most spares and who cleans up their wood properly.
Foley has a strike and a spare to start. Good start for him. McClellan now has to do the same to keep pace.
Jimmy taking his time. He wants to make sure on every shot this game.
He's had a high game of 403. Hasn't had the perfect game. Says it's going to come someday. Not today, of course, but should someone roll the perfect game in our series, it's $50,000. What a payday that would be, particularly if you could win it all. It'd be a $75,000 championship 5-pin.
It'd be a real big bonus.
Yeah, it's possible. You know, we have some great bowlers coming into the final. Someone could do that. He's going to pick them all up. Yes, he does.
Good cleanup by Jim.
35 pins for him after two on a head pin, which was preceded by a spare. Best he could do, really. But his opponent, Phil Foley, is off to a pretty good start. Spare and a strike.
Another good-looking shot by Jim. Just doesn't seem to be able to cover up that corner pin.
What kind of a splash is he getting here? Because it's, look at this.
It looked like a good shot. He gets the 3-pin and the bowling ball both going inside the corner pin.
Nice pickup.
Good pickup. Shoots that cross lane. A little bit of a hook shot.
There's a nice feeling between the players here. They're always giving you the lower high five and congratulating anyone in good strike or a couple or a triple. It's a friendly atmosphere, but very, very competitive just the same.
Very competitive. But these players, a lot of them have seen each other in big tournaments and here in the CBC show as well.
Working on a strike. Head pin doesn't do you much good. So he'll have to try and pick up 5 on the left side to get the biggest count he can on this. In the strike, just got 3 more there.
Just touched that 3-pin and rolled it over. He's going to want to clean up the big side, make sure of 13 on this one.
Very even match right now.
All of our matches today Nobody's really run away with any games. They all come down to the last 2 or 3 frames.
That's what we're looking for. We've had a couple of high games, pretty high rollers, like Mark Potvin at 322, pretty high. Yeah, 63 there for Foley after 3, and a 35 and a spare for McClellan, as you saw on the scoreboard.
Phil got a little bit quick on that one by the looks of things.
Yeah, you're not hitting that head pin. Something is desperately wrong. I was told by some bowlers that you should hit the head pin 96 out of 100 times.
At this level of competition, yeah, you need to hit it 9, 10 times in 11 or 12 frames.
Doesn't necessarily mean a strike, but you should hit the head pin.
You've still got to have those big counts. If you hit the middle, possibility anything can happen. Even if you leave a corner pin, you get a good chance to spare it up and get to the 270, 280 mark.
Jim MacLellan, he yelled, yeah. He didn't even get that spit back there off the wall, but good chance for a spare.
This time it looks like Jim changed his angle just a little bit. He went to the other pocket. He went to the right pocket. And still.
Look at that crazy
tough
pin.
Pinfall. That head pin coming off the side wall. Just didn't quite kick over the corner pin.
63 for McClellan after 3. And what he gets here, is it a spare?
And once again, good spare shot. Both these players keeping their heads in the game and not getting frustrated by the lack of strikes, but they're making sure on their spares.
All tied up after 4. 63 and a spare. That's identical scores for both players as they hit the halfway mark, the 5th frame. Jim MacLellan. Oh boy, he didn't like that. He just put his head down and said, what are you doing? What are you doing, Jimmy? But he recovers. He scolds himself, but then settles right down.
I'll take a deep breath and try and forget about that ball he just threw.
Yeah. Nice fella. Very.
Points back at the pins. That's what he wanted to see.
Yeah, well, look at on back there. He's had a head pin, a corner pin. He's had 4 spares out of 5 frames. He's doing about as good as he can do with what is happening to him. So, on the other side, we have a head pin and kind of a nothing frame there, and then striking 2 spares and another
There's
strike.
a good ball by Phil Foley again.
He gets his strike at the halfway mark and takes the lead by 10 in the 4th. He liked it. What's this?
Good concentration by Phil. Good and solid at the foul line.
Is that overreacting, would you say? Very, very close. 83 to 93 after 4, and they both have a fill in that 5th frame. They're halfway through. Lots to go here. Anything can happen.
Double here for Phil Foley would be really a big
mark. Very big mark. Puts a lot of pressure on his opponent. He knew it, too. He went down on one knee and said, yeah, that's it.
Again, all of these players, when they're shooting a particular arrow, they know when they get it close to that arrow, they got a chance.
Yeah. Perfect spot.
That one's good reaction from the pins.
Just blitzed every pin off there. There was no question. So now, all of a sudden, Jim MacLellan, who is looking fairly good, very, very close, has a spare in the 5th, is looking at a double on his opponent. He's got to get strike. Did.
Good response by Jimmy.
Yeah. Nice work.
That's his first strike of the match, and it comes at a really opportune time for him. He says, thanks very much.
He just got to stop yelling like that and making all kind.
Good and set at the foul line. Nice position.
Oh, just off the right.
Just pulled that one a little bit.
Can't seem to get the string going, can he? He did get 231 with a string at the right time in his first match against Paul Traynor to win. Can't afford to let up. Nice pickup.
Good spare again. Both our players keeping their games clean. When they've had a chance to make a spare, they've come through. The only open frames we've had have been the 2 head pins. One
Billy,
each.
Sorry to interrupt you, sir, but looking at this stage of the game right now with Foley on a double, leading after 4, if he gets the triple here, the turkey, he could really hurt Jim McClellan.
Certainly make it a lot tougher.
Yeah. Got a full count there on his other, well, almost a full count on the 5th, but a spare here. But a strike would have really done some damage. The spare actually still doesn't let him run away from McClellan.
No, McClellan's got 3 frames left.
Yeah.
He can put together 135 plus in those last 3 frames with his spare up in the 7th. So Jim certainly got room.
Yeah.
Phil needs this spare, though, to keep his lead in the match. And he does.
Yeah.
Good spare.
So he spared 7. He has 166 in the 6th frame, so he leads by 23 after 6, and they both have a spare in 7. You see the spares there, but looking back into the 6th, it's a 23-point spread in favor of Foley, but still 3 frames to play. Lots can happen. A lot of pins can be picked up, especially if you strike out.
Phil taking his time. He wants to make sure of this one. A little bit thick, but really good rotation on the ball. He got away with a maybe not quite as good a shot on that.
Yeah, look at this. Almost hit that head pin straight on. Just touched the 3-pin out there and left the corner. 194 for him in 7. Big count on his spare. If he gets this, he's still in pretty good shape.
Again, he's got to make sure of the spare, though, Ernie.
Yep.
And he does.
He looks away before he even got within 15 feet. So spare in the 8th. It's up to Jim MacLellan now. 7th frame, he has spare. He likes team play. As you see, they finished 3rd in the Nationals. Strike is all important here. Has he got it? Yes!
That was a little better ball by Jim. That little hook he throws, and it just broke across the face of the head pin.
Keeping pace here. Good slot there where he hit it.
You see the ball react? It's turning over and breaking from right to left.
Yep.
A good hook ball. Jim MacLellan with a possibility of 308. Phil Foley with still got 314 remaining.
That's if they strike out, right?
Right.
Okay. Ooh.
Boy, that looked like exactly the same shot as last frame, Ernie. That's 2 real good shots in a row by Jim MacLellan.
He's had 3 strikes in the last 4 frames. He likes it too.
And he knows it's close.
Oh boy, such emotion. Well, you know, in the last match against Paul Traynor, he came on very strong in the last 2 frames. If you remember, spare, strike, and that did it. It looks like he's on a double, well, a spare and 2 strikes. Good comeback there, but left the right corner. Still, he needs a spare here to pick it up.
And you can watch again. This one just a little bit thin, and the bowling ball goes inside that right corner pin. Leaves it standing.
I'd say you'd have to have spare here.
He's really got to take his time and make sure of this spare.
Yeah.
This match is far from over, so.
Yeah, gotta have a spare. Hurry. Oh, boy.
Didn't look like he got to the foul line in very good position that time, Ernie. He almost bounced the ball.
Yeah. Looked like he came at it just a little bit on a bad angle, but that's only from our angle here, so he doesn't get a fill in 9. And as he picked this up, no, he missed the last 2 pins. Gives him 13, total of 35. He can only add 45 to that, which would give him a total of 280, right? 280 is his maximum, but he's at 235 in the 9th. But see the double that McClellan is working on in 9 and 8. If he strikes here, he adds an automatic 45 into the 8th.
He's got a possibility of 280, and he really needs to get this first one in to put some pressure back on Jim MacLellan.
Got it.
Good shot by Phil.
McClellan was on that double, and we were saying if he gets another one, he gets 45. But now that strike is 45, 280, you pointed out. I wonder what Jim is looking at right there, just sort of glancing at the scoreboard.
I think he's just checking out the scoreboard just to see exactly what he needs.
Yeah. Pretty cool, I would say. Another one. Good kickback.
Good ball by Phil again.
All right. Nice
watch
play.
the reaction on this
double
one.
There.
Good ball. He back up into that left-hand pocket, and he gets the 3-pin coming off the side wall.
Look at this from the backside. There's the kickback over there. Watch this. Nicely done.
3-pin off the wall.
Yeah.
He's happy.
You bet. Phil's coming back here with
Got a
2
break.
in the 10th.
And that's a big shot.
Yeah. Looking back now, that 9th really did him in, didn't it? He,
Well, not yet.
No.
There's still a possibility.
Still a possibility, yeah. Yeah.
He's got 280 left with a strike here on his last ball. Rushed that one a little bit, but did get a bonus.
Yeah. That may be all important, just the way that kickback came there, depending on what Jim does in his final frame. So he finishes with 273. 273. And that is for...
Jim MacLellan
Foley.
needs 100 in these last 3 frames, and he's got a double working.
So he has 45 automatically in the 8th if he makes a strike. So, get the calculator, Billy. 273. Good score by Foley. Came back strong last time.
That was a little bit thick, but I don't think Jim certainly expected a set of aces on that ball.
He has 214 in the 8th. And what can he add in the 9th? He can add 20.
Not enough. The only chance he has is to spare it, and that's
and it's
we don't see
well,
that.
We've seen it happen with Pat Pinko. Yeah, didn't get it over enough.
Huh?
So you see his spare here, or his total on the second strike is, let's see, 242. Best he can do is 15. He could finish at
257.
57. That split just killed him. It can happen to the best. He hit it right in the middle, but in the middle doesn't count. Tough break, Jim MacLellan.
That really was. Jim bowled a really, really good game, and
he did. There's no
tapped a little in the 10th frame on that ace.
55. Look at this score. The double up there looks so good. It looked like McClellan would just have it all locked up. All he needed was a strike in there to do it, but he hit that dreaded split.
But he'll go straight at